much for the invitation, definitely. And just one few questions before. Who is working here? Okay, who is studying in general? Okay, what about the others? I mean, okay, good. That's the first question to understand. Then second question that I have is, do you know me? Or have you ever heard about me in general? Okay. That's good. Anyway, let's go for the last question is, have you ever heard about BlockChain? Yeah. Okay, please here. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, what I want to do right now is just to give you a quick introduction about what I do in general with my company, and then I will go in blockchain, what is the opportunity that is behind in this moment right now, and what we can do on the other side, because you know we are here, it's 7 o'clock, anybody's having dinner, but we are here because we like this thing that we are doing, I mean, about the technology. Then, what do we do? I work in this company. I am actually one of the founders. And we mainly work on 3 fields: big data, artificial intelligence, and blockchain. Anybody heard about the fact that anybody's working with blockchain, big data, and artificial intelligence this morning? But the thing that I always like to say is that when you're talking about big data, in our case, we talk about the fact that we have raw data. Okay? And we have different sources. We have unstructured data. And thanks to artificial intelligence, we are able to transform the unstructured data in information. And thanks to blockchain, that is the revolution technology that we can use right now, we are able to give value to the entire stakeholder that is providing the information behind. Then let's talk about blockchain. This is the last point that I was mentioning before. Blockchain is it is called also like the internet value. Okay, right now we know that the internet, we use the internet just for sharing information. With blockchain, the good things that we are going to be able to do is to share value amongst person A, person B, among point A, point B. That's what is doing blockchain. Because if you're thinking about internet, the internet brought us a lot of new things, a lot of innovation, a lot of example, emails. Thanks to internet, we have email that is able to that people are able to communicate from point A to point B. Thanks to internet, right now we have instant messaging, something that before we didn't have. And which are the main difference between the last one and the first 3? I mean, what is the difference between email, instant messaging, video calling, and to purchase online? Okay? That's it. That's it, money. You're right, right. In fact, the first thing that we used blockchain mainly, it was just to exchange money, Bitcoin. Have you ever heard about Bitcoin? Okay, anybody here? This is just the minimum things that you can do with blockchain. It is just exchanging value from point A to point B. But with blockchain, it is a decentralized system, okay, that is like a ledger. It's a ledger actually. And what we can do, like it is written here, because if you really go in depth on blockchain, we understand that we have a biggest opportunity right now to change not only on the point of view of technology, but also on the point of view of philosophy. We will be able to exchange property ownership without a middleware, without a middleman. We will be able to have mortgage without middlemen. The opportunity that is bringing behind, it's incredible. And then with blockchain, thanks to blockchain, we can have something that is called smart contract. Have you ever heard about smart contract? Okay, and if I'm going to be able to explain it in an easy, fast way, is smart contract. It is simply the decentralization. Just simply decentralization of the computing power. We have a code that is running in a decentralized architecture that is able to make communicating 2 persons. It's able to make communicating 2 points. I mean, point A, point B. Who is buying and who is selling? This is something without the needs of a middleman. And this is the most important thing that we have right now. Then if you think about right now when you are purchasing a house, here in Prague, I know it, you have to pay the 4%. I mean, there is no need behind, okay, I'm not saying something about, it is very something that maybe you can, you can avoid, okay, somewhere or another. Okay, thanks to blockchain right now, we're gonna go faster right now, and we're gonna create what is called our first smart contract. It is gonna be just something easy, done with Solidity. Solidity, we're gonna use, okay, Solidity, I'm just gonna make you a first overview. Solidity was influenced by C++, Python, and JavaScript. That's the reason because we are saying Solidity. Because maybe the syntax, it looks like JavaScript, then you're gonna see it right now. And it is targeted to Ethereum virtual machine. Ethereum, it's a kind of blockchain. And the biggest characteristic that we have behind Ethereum is that it's really well done, this blockchain, to create smart contract. And let's start. Do you have any question, actually? Great. I mean, great. But if you have, don't worry, stop me. I don't need. Okay, people. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is the platform. This is called it's a remix, and it's super useful because you can deploy your smart contract online without any kind of. You don't have to create any environment. It's already over there, and it is using the virtual machine. Okay, the JavaScript virtual machine of Ethereum, and wait.
What's it called again?
This is remix. Remix. It is easy because if you let's check and let's try to create our first contract. Okay. Okay. There are different versions. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, we have. Like you say, it is like JavaScript. I'm gonna create what is called our first hello world. Are you able to see what I'm writing? Right? Yes. Hello world. Let's call it hello world. Okay, rename hello world contract, smart contract.
Can you make it bigger?
Okay.
Just try it.
I have one question.
Okay, Control Z. I'm making it bigger here. It's okay. Then you're gonna see it better here. Okay, the first things that you have to do, it is as you can see here, we have to define which one is the virtual machine that is gonna compile this code, because it's very important because we have a different sorry, let me close here. We have a different version of the virtual machine. And I saw it even when we went. Tell me.
Is it Solidity? Is it like a different language?
Okay, so Solidity is a programming language that we have. Yes.
Okay, and do we need to write it in this language to create?
To create a smart contract,
you have to use this language.
you can because there are different blockchains. For Ethereum blockchain, that is one of amongst all the other. Example, Bitcoin it has its own blockchain. For Ethereum one, we're gonna use Solidity.
And you have to use Solidity.
Yeah, you cannot use vanilla JavaScript. That's right. Because it is. I mean, the point is that it has to be compiled. Okay. Then to be compiled, if you want to use this virtual machine that is giving us, we have to use Solidity. Because you have the compiler. It's like when you want to compile it in Java. Okay?
There is more languages.
What?
There is more languages.
Yeah, there are many others. But Solidity for right now, okay, for me is the one that I prefer the best right now. And okay, this is because there are many graded versions. There are many differences between one version and another one on how do you write it. If you see, It is like it's like a class in general. This contract, let's say hello. Okay, this is like when you're creating a class in TypeScript. And then when you're using variables, okay, you have to define the type. Okay, example in this case, string. Let's copy. The good point of this compiler of this plot that we have is that we have the errors that is gonna show up here, and in this case we want to return, okay, our hello world, but we have to tell to the system what we want to return. Okay, return. In this case, it's gonna be a string. And one thing that is different between when you're creating a smart contract, because usually you're defining if it is public, if it is private, and you're inside the code. Okay, but in these cases, what is happening is that when you're defining, you don't have only to define what is inside, okay, but you have to define also the visibility that you have outside, because other program can interact with the blockchain with your smart contract. And they're not inside, but we're talking about outside. Okay. In this case, like I will say here, then we have to be able to tell them if it can be contacted from outside. And then in a short, I'm going to show you how. What do I mean? We have to tell them if the type that we're returning. We have to tell them the data location. That if we want to store it in a blockchain data. If you want just to interact with the information that are inside, or if it is just a plain one. Example in this case is just a pure. It means that we are not storing the information immediately inside. Okay, and what is happening? That, well, example in this contract, we have the contract. What we have to do, like second things, is to deploy it. And when in this case, you have to use the JavaScript virtual machine. And when you're deploying it. When you're deploying, what you have to do is to select the contract, like in this case. You're gonna click on deploy, and what is doing when you're deploying it? It is deploying it on the blockchain. Because usually when we are doing is that we are interacting with a database. Then you make the connection string, you connect to MySQL or to Mongo, whatever is there, and then you exchange information with the database. But in this case, what you're doing is that you're exchanging information with a decentralized architecture, with a decentralized ledger, with a decentralized database, let's say like that. And the point is that anybody can connect to it. Okay, and you don't have anymore your database in this case. Then you have your decentralized system. And let's say like I'm doing right now. Right now, I have published this smart contract. Okay, in the chain, and definitely, like I was saying before here, we say here public, okay? It means that it can be accessed from outside. And then this one, okay, is the action that has been, that if you check, it is the same name of this one. And in fact, when I click on hello, what is returning? It is returning the hello world string that we had here. Okay, it is interacting like if it is microservices. Each function is like if it is a microservices with which you interact, and with which not only you interact, but let's say all the world has the possibility to interact with. And you don't have a database for that. I mean, anybody can. It is not owned from Google. Let's say it is not owned from Facebook, but it's something that is owned from people. Okay, this is the really important thing. So let's say that we have another, I created before, was finishing before. Okay. Let's say before, I was creating before something easy, simple, even this one. It is another smart contract. I have time? Okay. This one is another smart contract. It's a little bit more tricky, but the concept behind is that it's like a bank system, okay? But it's a simple one, okay? There are many things that has to be added, etc., etc. But the concept is that this one has no database. Or better, it is not a database that has been owned by banks that are tracking the money that are going from one side to the other one, okay? And what I did, it is I created, how can I explain? Okay, the constructor that when we are creating, when you're deploying, when you're deploying the contract, we're defining two things. First of all, the balance, and second, I'm defining the owner of this of the contract, okay? And if you can see, this is the message sender. Okay, I'm gonna explain it. There are many variables inside. The message sender is the person that has created the contract, that has initialized the contract. Because when you're creating the contract, like each single person, we have first of all the address of the person, because it has it in the blockchain, and the second, when you're deploying a smart contract, you have also the address of the smart contract. Okay, what is happening? Let's deploy it. My bank. Okay, then here I have deployed the contract that is called my bank. One thing I want to show you is that this is what we call an instance. It's like when you have a class and you're creating the object. But the point is that you have this instance and it is in the chain. And it's like I created something and it's in the chain. And one thing that is very important to understand is that when you create something, you put it on blockchain, you cannot take it back. You cannot fix, the code, I forgot one letter. No, you cannot fix. It's something that's the reason, because when you're doing a smart contract, usually, you have a testing tools that is called Truffle. You can use others, okay, definitely. But there are some testing tools that is enabling you to test it before to put it on the chain, because otherwise you cannot revert it. But in this case, like we saw here, we have to expect something else than before. We have to expect the withdraw, the deposit, and the get balance function. Okay, let's see. Deposit, withdraw, and get balance. And what is happening? At the first moment that I've created, this smart contract and I deployed it, I have here defined the owner of this contract. The owner, who is it the owner? The message sender. Or better, the person that has created and initialized the contract. This contract is like, okay, I'm placing it in one place with an address, and the way to interact with that is to go to that address, okay? Let's say in this case, we set up the balance. And if I'm getting the balance, what is returning? The balance, okay. You should be. Perfect. Anytime that we are using another thing that is important. Anytime that you're interacting with a smart contract, you are it's like it is something that is called gas. Okay, that it means, okay, perfect. I'm interacting with the smart contract, and I'm using computational power, and I have to pay this computational power. Because this is to avoid the fact that maybe there are some systems that are interacting too much, that are overloading the chain, the blockchain, and are overloading the blockchain, and it is creating, negative effect for the others. This is the way to limit it. Then, example before. Okay, perfect. We had the file. Okay, this is the balance. I'm gonna just do two examples and then done. Then let's deposit. Okay, let's add some amount. Get balance. F7. Okay, perfect. Okay, there is nothing nothing great, okay, about it. But let's try to withdraw right now. Okay, let's try to withdraw. How much I want to withdraw? 1. Okay. Get balance. F6. Perfect. This one that you are able to see is my contract. Is my address. And with this address, I have created before the smart contract. When I click on deploy, I created a smart contract. Then what I'm doing right now at this moment is like I'm another wallet. I change it. I'm using another wallet, and now I want to withdraw with another wallet. Let's see. Get balance. It's still 6. Okay, you didn't see the action that happened here. Okay, it's been revert the action. Why? Because like I said before, the action that is related to the withdrawal that is here has something that is called a modifier, and it is allowed only from the owner of the smart contract. Then it's just to say, okay, perfect. Just okay. We have a decentralized system. Just a simple way. Okay, we have a decentralized system, and anybody can withdraw my money in my account. No, there are something that you can do to avoid all of these things of limitation of the access that you can have to one contract, the access that you can have to one balance, or the access that you can have to one wallet, and all of these stuff. Okay. Do you have any question?
And is it some sort of, I don't know, remix? Is it some sort of IDE that we can write this contract?
Yeah, you can try it, definitely. That's the real nice part, because it is you try to find it online. Okay, you don't have to install nothing at all. Maybe you have to use MetaMask or something else, but they're gonna tell you immediately. It's not tricky. But yes, you can try it online. You can try to interact. Right now, we didn't interact with the real chain. Okay, right now it's like I was working on local. Okay, I didn't interact with the real blockchain. But if you're changing it, okay, you can also interact with it. Because this one is the blockchain. This one is the blockchain, is the smart contract. With this smart contract, this is acting like microservices. And when you're interacting with microservices, it's like you have to have also a front end. And a front end, they're called usually dApps. There will be the next one that's going to talk about it.
So we must pay for every function call.
Depends. Okay. Let's say yes. There are some. I would say better. There are some function call that are costing more, and there are some function call that are costing less. And anything depends. Okay, there are many rules behind, but anything depends on how much load you're putting on the chain itself. That's it. This is just a way to limit the fact that we are using it in an insane way. Yep.
You actually didn't mention that you are also paying for the deploying of the contract.
But if you have a developer, that is no, I'm just kidding. You are paying also for the deploy. Yes, you're paying also for the deploy. And usually when you deploy a smart contract, you put also some amount on it. Okay.
I think the interesting part of it, how you can create your testnet Ethereums. That should be also the.
Because anyway, Ethereum. I have some friends that they are working on a clone of the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, that it is there. Okay, you can clone the blockchain of Ethereum. It can work on your internal project. Maybe just for a small group of people. I don't know, for a small net. I don't know. But yes, and then this one definitely the blockchain, like anybody knows, there can be private. Okay, then own. Example Libra, the one that's been owned from Facebook, or they can be decentralized, like the Bitcoin one, or like the Ethereum one. The important things that I think that is the main concept behind is that if you have, because a friend of mine told me, okay, what do you think about Libra? Is it cool? What I'm saying is that, okay, Libra, it is nice, it is really good because it is bringing the knowledge to, tell me when you have to go. Okay. Libra is very good. It is bringing the knowledge of blockchain to the country, to the people. But on the other side, Libra, it is centralized system. Then the point is that it can be targeted. You know that the Facebook is the owner. And Facebook, it is owning this kind of blockchain, this kind of cryptocurrency more than blockchain. On the other side, we have Bitcoin. On the other side, we have Bitcoin that is decentralized. But what does it mean? That if you want to block Libra, you go to Facebook. If you want to block BlockChain, if you want to block Bitcoin, it's not possible. That's the real concept behind what is happening right now. Then, like I was saying, like in 1990, that we had this phenomenon that was called internet, that brought, thanks to the exchange of information, a big revolution. Now we have this another technology, this blockchain, that it is in hands of you, because you are the one that are at 6:30 here, that can really give another boost to the technology.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.